Hello, everyone. I'm going to start. I say hello a little bit earlier because I've noticed on previous streams that I have that little awkward pause at the very beginning. I think they call it a millennial pause on TikTok. So definitely guilty of that. But welcome, everybody, to today's event. I'm going to get this kicked off in just a couple of minutes here. But before I do, feel free to let me know that everyone can see me okay, everybody can hear me okay. I think I enabled the emojis. You can give me some thumbs up, or you can just let me know in the chat that you can see me and hear me. Okay, awesome. I see some thumbs up coming through there, and the chat, amazing. So yeah, in the bottom right corner, we've got the chat log there. Feel free to utilize that throughout the presentation. We also have a questions tab. So myself and the guest speaker, are going to go through the questions at the end of the session. Just to try and make sure that we answer everybody's questions and kind of do it like answers as a class, as I always say. So if you have any questions and you do put them into the questions tab, I promise we're not ignoring it forever. We're only partially ignoring it just while we do the presentation, and then we're planning on looping back and going through those together. So feel free to use the questions tab there, and I swear we will get to them. And then the polls tab is there as well. I think I dropped a poll in for everyone already, and I'll drop another one in a little bit later in the presentation, but feel free to use those. And lastly, but not least, before I get going here, I always like to let everyone know that the presentations are fully recorded. So if anybody wants to take down notes, if you want to take screenshots, you could do any of the above. But just know that the session will be fully recorded. So you will get a recording in your inbox afterwards with the full session recording. So yeah, that's all the housekeeping notes. Just wanted to kick things off that way. Today's session is Intro to AR/VR Development and Design Industry Workshop. We have one of our previous students joining us. I'm going to share some information on that in a moment, but I'll start off here by introducing myself. So my name is Tyler. I work for CircuitStream, of course. I've been with this company for just about 3 years. I guess we're coming up to that very soon here this spring. And previously, before this, I worked in travel and tourism. I always say pre-COVID times, but yeah, that's a little bit on me. The guest speaker who will be joining us today is Mana. Mana is one of our XR Development with Unity course graduates. And when she does come up on stage, I'm just going to ask her some questions about her course experience, just about what she's up to now. And whoever just flipped the screen there and put the presentation large, thank you very much. I meant to do that already. Before we dive into the, Before we dive into the actual presentation itself and we get the guest speaker and stuff up on stage, I am going to just do a little bit of a background on CircuitStream and share some of the course information. So CircuitStream began in 2015 through a network of developers, designers, and creators, and is now a leading provider of technology learning in XR, game development and design, product management, and software development. We partner with industry-leading companies and leading educational institutions to offer courses and training to those looking to learn more about emerging technologies. You can see some of our partners listed on the screen there. And some of you might be curious, what is XR? I'm sure some of you know, but some of you may not know. XR stands for extended reality, which encompasses virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality. Augmented reality is where virtual information and objects are overlaid in the real world. This experience enhances real life with digital details such as images, text, and animation. In a virtual reality experience, users are fully immersed in a simulated digital environment using a VR headset. And then in mixed reality, digital and real world objects coexist and can interact with one another in real time. This is the latest immersive technology and is also sometimes referred to as hybrid reality. Just a little bit about XR and kind of what encompasses that there. The XR industry has grown immensely in the last few years, with 23 million jobs projected to be enhanced by AR and VR by 2030. These jobs are not just around gaming, but also span in many different industries like healthcare, retail, education, construction, and many more. Many well-known companies have incorporated XR into their businesses, and you can see just a few examples at the bottom of this slide here. And I will say too, I can hear some banging in the background here. There's some construction happening near me today. If anyone else can hear the banging, I do apologize. Just let me know at any point if it gets loud or perfect. I see a note there. Amazing. That's perfect. I've tried to adjust the microphone gain so that you guys don't hear it. But So the primary roles in XR are usually grouped into either design or development, and I'm going to talk about both in this presentation here. XR designers are primarily responsible for conceptualizing ideas and experiences, planning visuals through storyboarding, and prototyping to ensure optimal user experience. On the other hand, XR developers take these design blueprints and implement them to build an XR app or experience, and they utilize coding to bring it to life for the end user. These people usually work closely together. These people being developers and designers usually work closely together. Or somebody might try and challenge themselves to learn both skill sets so that they can develop and design an XR experience from start to finish on their own. One thing I will say is if you do try and do that and you're a true beginner, just pace yourself. Don't try and learn both development and design. Maybe in tandem or at the same time. Maybe try and do one, tackle one before the other. And actually, we can chat a little bit about that with today's guest speaker too, when she does hop up on the stage. But we do offer courses in both of these areas, and both XR development and XR design. And I'm going to share some information on the actual courses themselves. Before I do that, Apple announced the release of its brand new Apple Vision Pro back in June of last year, and it officially became available for purchase last month. I know a few people who have their hands on them already, and they're having a lot of fun. But this release has captured extended reality technology, or has catapulted rather extended reality technology even further into the spotlight, of course, because Apple is a huge company. According to a July 2023 Global Data report, XR is poised to revolutionize training, design, engagement, collaboration, and entertainment, ushering into transformative changes. Whew, guys, I'm going to have a hard time talking today. I'm going to say this again. This is a quote I'm trying to read here. XR is poised to revolutionize training, design, engagement, collaboration, and entertainment, ushering in transformative changes across industries and redefining the quality of human interactions. So that's just a little bit of information on the XR industry from the July 2023 Global Data report that I mentioned there. The pipeline is close to the workflow. Fabricio, any questions you have there about the actual course, about anything, just try and throw them into the questions tab. But we're going to do a little bit of a group Q&A at the end with the speaker as well, who took the course with us. So if you have that or any other ones, just feel free to throw them into the questions tab there. We'll make sure we get to those. And then the Apple Vision Pro is a spatial computer that blends digital content and apps into your physical space and allows you to navigate using your eyes, hands, and voice. So just a quick little video there showing some people having fun with the new Apple Vision Pro. So in order to create XR experiences, you need to use some sort of development software. The one we teach with in our course predominantly is Unity. If you're not familiar with Unity, Unity is the world's leading platform for creating and operating interactive real-time 3D content. You can use it to make games, visualizations, experiences, and much, much more. As you can see on the screen, 70% of the top 1,000 mobile games were made with Unity, and Unity creators are located everywhere all around the world. And anytime I hit a slide with some stats, I always just like to mention again, there will be a full recording of this going out to everyone. So feel free to sit back and enjoy the presentation. You'll get all these numbers and stats in the recording there. And as I mentioned, there are many jobs expected to be enhanced by XR technology in coming years. Let's dive into some of those opportunities. So the demand for developers and designers in the XR space has grown dramatically and continues to grow as these technologies become more common, especially with releases like Apple's new headset. We have broken down the average salaries for both design and development roles in both the US and in Canada. And as you can see, both countries offer pretty highly competitive compensation. And now that you know a little bit more about CircuitStream and the XR industry, I'm going to dive a little bit more specifically into the course information for everybody here. This course is designed for individuals, this course being the XR Development with Unity course. It's designed for individuals interested in learning how to use Unity and C# coding to develop XR experiences. The great thing about this course is that it is project-based, so you learn concepts in class and get to apply them to real-life projects. Our students really enjoy this aspect of the course because it allows them to build up a portfolio of projects to demonstrate the skills that they have learned. By the end of the 10 weeks, you will have learned foundational Unity skills, how to code in C#, and how to develop AR and VR applications. So in a nutshell, if you want to learn programming and development concepts in the XR space, the XR development course is definitely the right choice for you. I don't have any audio or video feed yet, Donald. Is that the case for anybody else? I think everybody can see me okay and hear me okay. Um, if you, oh, I guess this is. I'm just gonna wait and make sure I get confirmation before I keep going. I can hear and see. Okay, okay, perfect. That would have been horrible if I was presenting for the last 10 minutes and nobody could hear anything that I was saying. Okay, perfect. Donald, I don't know if you I don't know how to give you advice if you can't hear me right now. I was just going to say maybe try and close and just load and come back in if that's the case. But um, yeah, hopefully that's you get it sorted out, Donald. But worst case scenario, Donald, you will get a recording of this afterwards. And I feel like I'm. It's funny. I'm talking to you, and you might not be able to hear me or see me. So I'm just going to keep going with the presentation. But if you can hear me or see me in any capacity, Donald, just try and restart. Like just leave the room and come back in, or maybe restart your computer and try it that way. And so I am going to dive into the interaction design course in a moment here. Actually, I'm going to talk about the tools first. So I already mentioned Unity in the development course, but there's a few other tools listed that you would also use, like C Sharp, AR Core, and AR Kit. We're always reviewing the materials that are used in the courses to ensure that they are the most up to date with the industry standards. So if you have taken a course with us and you're in the audience, you may see some new tools here. You may see some familiar tools. We're basically updating this type of information all the time. So um, there we go. Thank you, Robert. I'm assuming if Donald can type in there, he's probably can see the responses as well. So Robert, if he can see your response, maybe that'll prompt him to do a quick reload. So thank you for that. And now on to the interaction design and prototyping for XR course. So this is the other XR course that's more focused on design. This is for those interested in understanding how to design XR experiences and interactions. This course is also project based, so you have the chance to take the concepts you've learned in the class and apply them to real life projects. By the end of the 10 weeks in this course, you will have learned how to apply UX best practices to XR experiences and prototype AR/VR experiences using industry recognized tools. Yeah, we can dive a little bit more into those two with the guest speaker, but that's a quick overview of both of the courses. The tools that you'd be using in the design course here are, Shapes XR, Figma, Spark AR, Adobe Aero, just to name a few. But as I said before, we're always updating this to be the most industry standard and up to date. So they may flip around. Sorry, somebody's waving at me from the background there. As I mentioned as well, you'll be finishing the course with a portfolio of projects to demonstrate the skills that you have learned. You also receive digital badges at the end of the courses that you can add to your resume or your LinkedIn profile pages to show your completion. And last but not least, by enrolling in the courses, you get access to private XR community on Discord, which has over 1,200 active members. This community it's filled with instructors, past students, current students, industry professionals that we've brought in. It's a great place to network, to get help on projects, to ask questions, to find out about career opportunities, or just connect with like minded people. I personally know a ton of our students connect through this network afterwards and end up working together on projects. We've had some students come together and create some XR games and release them on Steam together after the course. So just lots of opportunity there. And the cool thing, I mean, if it's not evident by the way I'm saying it, the cool thing is that we don't boot you out of this community once you've completed the course. So you are welcome to stay in it for life and continue to network with all of the lovely people who are in that network as well. So. And then both of our XR courses have been created to teach you foundational skills, meaning that you will gain the essential skills for either developing or designing for XR and be able to use them to create XR experiences for a wide range of devices. On the screen here is just some examples of some of our student projects. I always shout out the one in the bottom left corner. That's one of my favorite ones. It's VR Hogwarts experience, and you get to kind of wander around in Dumbledore's room in his castle, which is pretty cool. So we should shout that one out. But I mean, all the projects are cool. And now, without further ado, I'm going to officially invite our speaker on stage for today. Mana, as I mentioned, is a graduate of our 10-week XR Development with Unity course, and I'm just going to ask her some questions about her course experience and kind of what she's up to now. So welcome to the stage. I can see you're there, Mana. You just have to, perfect.
Hello.
Hello. So I'm just gonna dive right in, and I'm gonna ask you some questions. If it's okay, Mana, I'm gonna put your screen a little bit larger there, just because it's
No worries.
more important to kind of see you answer the questions here than my face talking. So, um, perfect. So, first thing I'll ask you, Mana, is what do you enjoy most about XR?
I guess XR has always amazed me because I can create imaginary kind of immersive worlds that cannot exist in this real world. Also, it's a growing industry, so and it's great to be part of a growing industry, eh? So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's commonly what I kind of hear is being able to create things that don't exist in our real world and make things that allow our real world to be more easier, I guess, training solutions, things like that. So, what initially attracted you to the XR development with Unity course specifically?
So I've worked on my first VR project back in 2018, collaborating with a big team, with a huge team, doing a spatial audio design for their project. So during COVID, I came up with all these crazy, complicated XR project ideas that I wanted to work on. And I wanted to create them from scratch. I wanted to be able to develop them from scratch. That's why I joined this course at Circular Stream. I also needed to have a mentor, to be honest, to work on my own projects. And I had this amazing instructor who was a great mentor for me. So, yeah.
Amazing. I love to hear that. I love all of our instructors, so it's always good feedback to hear that.
Yeah.
And out of curiosity, before you went into this course, did you personally have any coding experience? And if you did you find that the course still kind of paced that portion of it well for true beginners, like people who may not have any coding experience, kind of going
Yeah. So I was familiar with different coding languages, but um, I assume that for someone who is not familiar with these languages, going through the C# fundamental course, scripting course, which is included in the Plus package, can be enough. It's kind of like a beginner-friendly course, so true beginners can totally follow the course as the instructor go through all the concepts step by step. So yeah, I believe it's a beginner-friendly course, totally.
Perfect. And then what Mana just mentioned there too is the additional C# course. I'll share that information with everybody afterwards there. But I shared the course information on both the development and design, but we have a standard package that's available, and then we also have a plus package that's available. And within the plus package, you get some additional features like that extra C# course. So I'll share that with everyone in just a little bit here. But my next question for you, um, let's see here. Oh yeah, what can newly registered students do to best prepare themselves for this type of course?
I would say I start learning C# fundamentals in advance, or if you're familiar with any object-oriented programming languages, that would be perfect. But start learning these languages in advance. Learn the lingo, like whenever you want to do something new, whenever you want to learn something new, just learn the lingo, learn the language in advance, I would say. Also look at the syllabus, familiarize yourself with the content, and know what to expect for each session. Also, I would say know your goals, know why you want to enter this industry, and work toward your goals during this course using all the resources that Circuit Stream provides. That's really important, I guess.
Yeah, that's great advice. I love the looking through the syllabus as well and kind of really familiarizing yourself with, a lot of people are excited once they purchase a course. So that would be the first thing they do is go and check and see what they're going to learn about. But oftentimes people don't think to do that. And it's a great piece of advice to go through and just kind of get yourself prepared for what's coming. And I also say to add to that too, is just try to immerse yourself into the industry as much as you can. Feel free to subscribe to maybe different types of newsletters that might get sent to your email. Any way that can kind of give you updates on what's happening in the industry is always going to keep you a little bit more connected too. Cool. Okay. And then what are the core areas and topics that were covered in the development course, the 10-week XR development course?
So Unity, C# scripting, VR development, AR, both marker-based and markerless AR development. Yeah.
Amazing. And yeah, and in the syllabus too, there's a little bit more of a breakdown of each of those sections. So if you're interested in anything that Mana's saying there in terms of the course breakdown, I'm going to actually share some links there too. But you can also just go to circuitstream.com and go into the courses and find the course syllabus there. So I'll share some links here in a little bit. So were there opportunities for networking, and how have those connections kind of benefited you during and after the course?
I guess joining the Discord of CircuitStream, the Discord channel of CircuitStream helped me a lot with networking and connecting with like-minded people in this industry. The community is great. Everyone is friendly, open to connect, open to collaborate, open to help one another. And I found that the community, there is absolutely no competing, but collaborating, and I love that about this community. I collaborated with a lot of people from the community for my final project, other projects that I developed later on after finishing the course. I'm also currently working with some people from CircuitStream on a game, and I don't want to talk about it currently, but we are on a big team project right now.
Amazing. I'm sure we'll be able to hear more about that as well. Are you working on something that you're planning on releasing through Steam or anything?
We might, publish it through Steam. Yes.
I always get excited about this whenever I see the students working together on projects. So then I just start asking questions. All right, I'll stop asking there. I'll let you share once it's ready to be shared. So why would you suggest that taking a structured course like this is more successful at teaching you foundational XR development and coding skills than attempting to kind of do it on your own?
I guess everyone's different. For me, self-learning couldn't work because, as I mentioned earlier, I was looking for a mentor to work on my own projects. And also, I was looking for this opportunity to ask my questions from the instructor in real time during the class. Like, I assume watching a YouTube video, I don't have this privilege to ask my questions in real time, right? And also, I just want to mention again that the instructor was great, was a great mentor. He empowered me to start working on my own projects, with confidence. Also, I guess, again, this course was a great way for me to become part of this great community of CircuitStream, connecting with like-minded people. So yeah.
Amazing. And something else I hear from people quite often is if they try and teach themselves skill sets, they end up wasting a lot of time, I guess, because they end up looking into the wrong things or teaching themselves or learning the wrong things and then realizing, that's not what I needed at all. I actually need to go down this path, and then they've got to unlearn what they've done, and they may have spent a whole week kind of going through that first thing. So just to add to your point there, it's structured learning kind of stops you from spinning your tires a little bit sometimes and going in the wrong direction. So, which is also a mentor will help you with that as well. So, to your point. And then, how did the course prepare you for practical aspects of XR development, such as working with specific tools, languages, and technologies?
So the course was more project-based, meaning that the instructor did teach us different concepts and the use of different tools like SDKs, technologies, and all these through doing courses, through doing various projects in the class. And I guess this was a great opportunity to learn the practical aspects of XR development. So basically knowing how to use different tools and different kits, assets, all this.
Amazing. Yeah. And then some of the tools I shared earlier in the presentation, those would be a great example of, if you're not familiar with any of those would be all tools that you'd be able to work with after you've taken the course, or you certainly will be working with during the course there. So, and how do you stay on top or connected to industry trends and information just in general?
I guess I follow XR News. So read articles. I attend conferences, talks. For example, when there is an event at Meta, when there is a event at Google or whatever, I try to connect. I try to attend. Yeah, yeah.
Amazing. And I think actually I'm guilty here. I need to respond to a message that you sent me. Did you say you were going to GDC this year as well?
I am not.
You're
I
not? Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah.
No, that's okay. I had somebody messaging me, and so I don't know if anybody's familiar with the Game Developers Conference in San Francisco. It's really big. It's a little bit more on the game side. There's also another conference called AWE, which is a little bit more in the XR space. I don't think I'm personally attending either of those this year, but as a company, we are. We will have our student outcome manager at least at GDC. So if anybody's at any of those events and you want, if you see somebody walking around with the Circuit Stream logo on their hoodie or anything that's recognizable, please go up and say hello. When I would love to say hello and to connect with you while you're there too. So, and Mana, I skipped a question here. I didn't mean to, but I see that you were signed up for the 10-week interaction design and prototyping for XR course as well. So for the audience, Mana took the 10-week development course, and in the next week or two, I think you're going to be starting, or maybe the next couple of weeks, you're going to be starting the interaction design and prototyping for XR course. So Mana will have officially, at the end of that, taken both of our 10-week XR courses. So my question for you, I guess, is how do you plan to combine the education from both of these courses for your future?
Good question. I guess I want to be able to do fast prototyping before jumping into the development phase. So in this case, I would know if an idea actually would work, and I would recognize and fix like user related issues in advance before developing my project. So yeah, I feel it's going to be a good combination to my previous skills.
And I always say, like in game development design, XR development and design, it's certainly not a necessity for you to learn both. But it is incredibly helpful for you to at least understand the basics on both sides. So even for somebody who's taking the XR development course, I always encourage you, once you've got like a good understanding of that course, to still learn some of the base design concepts. And then further to that, what I said earlier in the presentation is some students like to do both. We've got case in point here. Mana's going to be doing both courses with us. But I always say to just pace yourself, like, don't try and sign up for both at the same time and try and do both things at the same time. I can see you nodding there, Mana. I'm sure based on your experience, you wouldn't want to have tried to do both of those simultaneously. It makes a lot more sense to kind of do one at a time versus the other.
Yeah.
But we do have
I,
a lot of students that do both. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Mana. What were you going to say?
I did the development course in 2022, and now I'm gonna do the design course. Like it starts in 2 weeks. So yeah, there was a gap in between.
Which I think is smart. Like you can overload yourself if you try and take on too many things at the same time. And this is
Yeah.
just a really good way to do it. So, and our courses will be there. So you're always welcome to take one a little bit after the other one there. So, and then considering your experience, what advice would you give to individuals who are interested in starting their journey in XR development or considering enrolling in this course?
I guess if you enroll the course, ask questions. So I always stayed after each class to ask my questions. I also took advantage of all the one-on-one sessions I had with my instructor because I registered for the Plus package. So I had these one-on-one sessions. So I took advantage of all of them. I guess find your connections, collaborate with your peers, like collaborate a lot. Go back to the records after each class and review the content. Build up your XR portfolio by doing the projects, by doing the assignments, and familiarize yourself with the industry. That's really important, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just immerse yourself in the industry, connect yourself with as many people as you can. It's great advice. And then finally, last thing I'll ask you, Mana, in this part here is how can people find and connect with you?
Oh,
If you've got a LinkedIn profile or anything that you want to share in the chat there,
yeah,
feel
I
free to
can
share that.
share my LinkedIn. Yeah,
Perfect. There
here.
we go. So we've feel free to reach out to Mana that way. Connect with her on LinkedIn. My LinkedIn too is just Tyler Trapp at Circuit Stream. If you search those keywords in Google, you'll find my account there, and you can add me as well. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to share a little bit of information here about the upcoming courses, like the start dates, that kind of fun stuff. If anybody's interested in enrolling or if they just have any questions, I just want to share that those details. And then, I'm going to invite you back up on stage in just a minute here for some audience Q&A. So let me put this back up here for now, and I'm just going to share some. Oop, hang on, guys. I'll reshare the screen there. I think we both closed at the same time. There we go. There we go. There we go. So yes, of course. Thank you, Mana. That was amazing. If anybody has any questions for Mana about her course experience, about just anything in general, put them into the questions tab now. I'll remind everybody as well. There's some polls in there. I think there's 2 polls that have been dropped in, so feel free to interact with those while you're in the event space here. And I am going to share a little bit more details about the course, the upcoming cohorts and stuff, if that's okay with everybody. I'll start off with the course schedule. So the course schedules for both of these 10-week courses consist of 1.5 hours of live online sessions per week, as well as over 6 hours of independent study. And then how that actually breaks down throughout the week. So at the start of the week, learners gain access to the week's course content. On the second day, they have a 30-minute meeting with their instructor to help them understand the goals of the week and ask any questions that they might have. They have 4 full days to review the course content, which is a combined mix of videos, readings, and exercises. They go over the content before the live session and are encouraged to get support anytime that they need. They then have a 1-hour live session where the instructor is responsible for troubleshooting, answering questions, and explaining the topics. During the lab, learners work on the week's assignments, which is week's assignment, I should say, which is a problem-based assessment that challenges them to put the week's content into practice. And then learners submit their assignment at the end of the week. They receive access to the new module while they wait for the instructor's feedback on their assignment. And that cycle would just kind of repeat throughout the course of the full process, I guess, of the 10-week course there. So if anybody has any questions about that and what the breakdown looks like, I'm going to share the contact information. You can just reach out to the enrollment team, the admissions team. They're happy to kind of go over any details like that with you. And then in terms of time slots, these are the available time slots for the courses. You just have to factor in, obviously, your own time conversion based on where you are located. But those are the 2 different courses. And then these are all in Pacific time shown on the screen. So you would just kind of count ahead from there, from Pacific time to Mountain to Central to Eastern, whatever the case may be. And then in terms of the course pricing, as we mentioned earlier, we do offer 2 different packages for both the development and design courses. The starter package is great for people who already have a little bit of experience or don't need any additional assistance. But as Mana mentioned, especially in the development side, if you're a complete beginner with no coding experience, the Plus package will help you out quite a bit because it does come with an additional 4-week coding course. That just allows you to kind of learn the ins and outs of C# before you even get started in the main course itself. It's not an absolute necessity. It'll just make your life a little bit easier if you do have access to something like that. Also with the Plus package, you will get access to an additional on-demand introductory course, as well as live and personalized support. Students can pay for these courses if they prefer upfront, of course, but they can also do it over a 6, 12, or 24-month period. If you have any questions about how the payment plans work, again, I can just connect you straight through to the admissions team. They're happy to answer anything along those lines. Any questions about the start dates, about the payment options, about how all of that works. And then as a live attendee, we do have a special offer available for everyone. You do have access to both the XR Development and XR Design courses at 10% off the standard pricing. This applies to both the regular and the plus packages. And if you decide to purchase a course on your own before the 18th, I think it's March 18th, just make sure you use the code MAR12, MAR12. So that's for the self-checkout on the website. So you can purchase the course through the admissions team, but for these 10-week courses, you can also just go right to the websites and add them to cart and check out and do it that way. But if you do, just make sure you put MAR12 in as the promotion code to get the 10% off. So that's the pricing info there. And then in terms of the upcoming start dates, we typically run these courses every few months. The upcoming cohorts for both development and design start on March 18th and run straight through to May 23rd. And actually, it's not, I should mention too, while I'm on that slide, it's not listed here, but there will be a cohort, within a couple of months after the end of this one. And if you were looking at utilizing the promotion that's in today's event, we should be able to apply it for the following cohort as well. So, the dates that are shown on screen, the discount would be applicable for, but even the future date that I don't have shown on screen right now, if you ask the admissions person and you're looking to purchase by March 18th, we can still apply that for you for the future one there too. And then this is the kind of the way to access all of the websites through ourselves and then through our university partners. So if you are looking to find the syllabus for any of these courses, if you're looking to register for any of these courses, just highlight or put your phone camera up and just kind of scan over top. I think you can tap it and then just go straight through. Again, these codes will all be included in the recorded session that's sent out to everyone. So don't worry if you don't have time to grab it off the screen really quickly right now. But I am just going to leave it up here while I'm chatting for just a moment so you can kind of hover over it and go right to the course pages on any of the websites if you would like. And we'll send that out to everyone. I just saw a question come up there. Are there any projects showing student work examples? Yes, I believe there is on the website. I also did show a couple quick screenshots earlier in this presentation. Not anything in depth per se, but just a couple quick screenshots of some of the projects that the students have made. But again, if you connect with the admissions team, they can send out even more. Like we have tons of student projects. Like we've had so many cohorts go through on development side, design side, and we've got tons and tons of examples that we can share with you. So just reach out to us anytime or check out the website. Awesome. Yeah, perfect. And then this is how you'd reach out. So if you have any questions about the courses or how to get started or about the presentation today or about anything at all, just reach out to admissions@circuitstream.com. We have an amazing team and they can go over any of that stuff with you. They're lovely, lovely people. And that's it for my part of the presentation there. I'm going to invite Mana back up on stage here and we can just take a quick look through and see if we have any questions. I don't think we have anything built into the questions tab here today, but I saw a question or two come into the chat. So I'm just going to do a quick scan through here and make sure that we're not missing anything. What was the question that we had earlier that I said to maybe loop back on? I don't know where that other question went from earlier. Thing, but I'll start with this one. So there's a reason why Unity seems to always be the engine chosen for XR creation tool in the courses. Is it related to the ease of use features code? Yes, absolutely. We actually use Unreal and Unity, but we use Unreal more in our game development and design courses. In the XR space, Unity, as far as I know, is still kind of the king. It's the main development tool that's being used. And the other thing that we always say too is that you can use any tool really. Once you learn a coding language or once you learn how to work within a tool, it's incredibly easy to learn a different coding language or to work in a different tool afterwards. So if you've learned C#, for example, and then you want to learn C++, it's going to be way easier for somebody who already knows the fundamentals of C# than if they don't. So we I guess, Julie, to answer your question in a very long-winded way here, we use Unity. We still see a lot of value in Unity. It probably is still the main, like the top tool for teaching XR development and design. But there's definitely other tools out there, and the skill sets are certainly transferable. So I hope that helps answer that question. I'm in the architectural visualization industry and have zero coding experience, but have already invested a lot of time with Unreal Engine as the preferred content creation. Yeah, Unreal's great too, Julie. Honestly, you can use any tool. If basically, I'd say if you're playing in Unreal and you're looking at doing a course like this, and you're nervous because we're using Unity instead of Unreal, I'd say don't be. It might be a little bit of a learning curve right off the hop, just to kind of take on a different tool. But you'll find it's quite similar. It's actually probably quite easier than Unreal is, I would say. But um, and sorry, I'm just grabbing the questions out of the chat here. For the course period, if any software needs license, can this be covered by the fee? So we don't have any of the software we use, as far as I know, doesn't require any licensing. Unity's a free download. I can see Mana nodding, so that's a good sign. Yeah, everything we use, we wouldn't have any. So if you decided to get a different tool on your own, or you wanted to play something that actually came with a license, you could kind of do that on your own. But everything, all the tools we use and all the programs we use in the course are all free. Yeah. And just to add to that too, it's not part of the question that's added or asked here, but a lot of people ask about Mac versus PC, and you can use either for both of these courses. I think PC is usually a little bit more of the preferred piece of technology, or the preferred device that's used for development and design with Unity and with Unreal. But we have a lot of Mac users, and I think it's just usually one extra step. I think you just add an extra piece of software to your system, and then you can basically do all the same things on both. So I saw Mana nodding again, so that's a good sign. And then, that was the same question that was in the questions tab there. I swear there was a question earlier. I just want to go back up and find what it was. The pipeline, that's what it was. The pipeline is close to the film or traditional game workflow. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that one. Do you understand what that one means, Mana?
Not really, but I mean, we created a few games and applications throughout the course. So I would say the pipeline is kind of more close to game workflow. I'm not sure what's traditional game workflow pipeline though, sorry.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too. I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there. Our course definitely touches and uses game development and game design in some of the areas to kind of teach some of the skills. So I'd say if anything, we'd be closer to game design and game development than anything on the film side per se. But let me scroll back down here. All right. I'm just wondering if the course is more code oriented than developing 3D models, textures, lighting, and animation. Is there space for the artist? Hang on, I'm going to put this into the questions, and I'm going to put this up on the screen so that everybody can kind of see it here. Oops. I swear I'm doing this properly. There we go. Oh, maybe not. That's too long. I'm sorry, guys. I was trying to make this easier, but it's going to make it harder. So I'll just keep it in the chat here. But is there space for an artist, 3D generalist, to do this course and activate something without any experience with code? I have little experience with Python and Maya. Does it work? Did you want to touch on this one at all, Mana, just because you took the course there?
Sure. So yeah, to answer your first question, if it's more code oriented than developing 3D models, textures, lighting, and animation. So I guess we kind of touched upon all these different concepts like textures, 3D models, lighting, animation, and also the use of code. And if you as a 3D generalist you can activate something without any experience with code. Yes, there are um, some things that you can activate without using the code, of course, but I would say if you use the code, it just makes it easier for you to activate all these extra like options or whatever that you want to have in your game. Um, and you have experience with Python and Maya, that's perfect. Yeah, that would help, I guess. Do you think the interaction design will be more interesting for 3D artists? So as you mentioned, so you want something with no code. I would say interaction design could be more interesting, but I guess this is something that Tyler can answer as well.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I agree with that. I mean, if you are not excited at the thought of using code or learning kind of developing and using code on that side, I'd say the interaction design course is probably a better fit. But Fabricio, take a look at like go to circuitstream.com and click on the interaction design and the extra development tabs and just request the syllabus for both. It'll get sent your email and have a good look through. Just kind of take a little bit of a deep dive into both of those and see kind of the different areas that they cover. My thought is that you probably will find a little bit more comfort in the design course versus the development course if coding's not your favorite thing, because the development course does have quite a bit of coding involved, whereas the design course, as far as I know, doesn't touch coding at all. But you're still kind of working within Unity and using all the tools there. So yeah, so hopefully that helps. I can see that you're typing there in the chat as well, so I'm hoping that helps. Oh, Mana, have you been able to apply what you have learned in your professional role, practically speaking, or was it just a personal project for you? And no problem for PCO.
Have you been able to apply what you have learned in your professional role, practically speaking, or was it just for your personal project? So it was both for my personal projects and also like in this project that I just mentioned that I'm collaborating with a team. We are working on a team project right now. So basically, this is someone else's project that I'm collaborating on with them. And so I'm helping them as the artist, as the producer. And yeah, it's just yeah, you learn all these skills and you can apply them either for your own projects or if you want to get hired in this industry, you want to collaborate with other people, you just, yeah, gain the skills. If that answers the question.
And Julie too, if you have any other questions too, or if you want to see any examples of kind of our graduates or where some of our students are working, or kind of the successes they've had, that way, just reach out. The admissions team has like a ton of examples and a ton of student work examples they can share with you. So yeah, hopefully between the two of us there, we answered your question. But feel free to reach out and let us know if yes, thank you, Mana. Perfect. Yeah.
Great.
So I'm just going to take a quick scroll through here. We're doing all the questions in the chat tab today, which is a little different. So I'm just making sure we're not missing anything here. Student work examples, Unity. I think we hit them all. I think we've hit all the questions here, guys. So, if anybody wants to reach out to us after the fact, we shared our LinkedIn profile information, or at least Mana did. Mine's just Tyler Trapp at Circuit Stream. Just find me online. You can add me. But reach out if you have any questions specific to the courses or anything. Just reach out to admissions@circuitstream.com. But with all that said, I just want to say a big thank you to Mana for joining me today and for allowing me to grill you with questions about your course experience. And I hope that you're getting excited for the interaction design course that's starting very shortly here for you.
Thanks for having
Yeah,
me. Yep,
of
I'm excited
course.
for that course. Yes.
Yeah, and maybe if you're okay with it, I can invite you back after you do the design course, and we can do another session and kind of talk about how your experience was in that course as well. So
Of course.
awesome! I think we both just did course more than anyone has in the world, in the history of the world. So, all right, thank you everyone for joining us today. Look forward to our next session. Check out circuitstream.com. You can click on the events tab, and usually we'll have events posted in there. I don't know if we have the next one posted quite yet, but we will in the next couple of days or weeks here. So feel free to join us for those. We always love having you join us for the sessions. And without further ado, I will just say thank you, and everybody have an amazing day. Have a really good Tuesday. Almost said Wednesday. Bye, everybody. Cheers.